friendly here?
Yeah.
Oh, props. How'd you guys get into the market? It's tough to buy.
Those.
Okay, that's awesome. Well, look, Miss Betty also bought her house and she's noticed a change. She's been here about 7 years. How long y'all been out here for?
1.
Okay, props. Did you get a bunch of ADT guys come by when you first moved in?
No, I work too much. Nobody's really come by.
Cool. What do you do for work?
You ever use a porta potty?
I have.
So like
they're clutch with my job. Like if there's one down the street and no one's being friendly, porta potty's clutch.
I sell a blue liquid that keeps your pee from stinking.
For real?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. How'd you get into that?
It's a shitty situation, but I get
Pun
it.
intended, pun intended. Well look, let me keep it quick. I can tell you kind of got to get back to business. Pun intended for that one too. But my job is with the advertising and marketing team, and we're actually paying some homes to advertise for us. Normally I like to work with homeowners and nicer homes like yours, which is really cool. Who does the gardening out here? You said you're busy, so do you pay someone to do it? Because it looks great. The wife. Okay, fantastic. I do most of the gardening with me and my wife, but she's doing a great job. I'd have to talk to her about those azaleas out there. They're really cool. My job is to put the blue signs in front of homes, nice ones like yours, and then we pay you guys to advertise for us. We used to spend a butt ton of money on these guys here. Have you seen them on the TV before?
No.
Right. That's the problem. Nobody's seeing our TV commercials anymore because we're either working due to inflation or we're watching like streaming services like Netflix, Hulu.
So what are you wanting out of me?
This is the best part. So we actually put out the sign and then we actually cover the cost of some cameras to go in your home. Most of the folks out here have been looking at doing like cameras over the trucks, just like Miss Betty had her car broken into down the street. So that's what I mean when I say we pay homeowners to advertise for us. Normally security is really expensive. We cover the whole cost to get in for zero. Does that kind of make sense?
So it's all free?
No, we don't do free. Free would be a scam sent on the door. We don't do that. We ask you guys to cover the cost. We ask you guys to take care of the service, right? So we get all in for zero instead of paying for TV commercials.
How much does that cost?
Yeah, so it's a little different for each home. You said you had looked at doing the outdoor cameras before?
I don't think I said that.
Okay, cool. Most of the neighbors had said that to me, so I assumed you're probably in the same boat.
Yeah.
Each home's a little bit different. I can show you kind of how it works depending on what you want. Is there somewhere I can set this down real quick and I'll show you how this works?
Just tell me what it is.
Okay, cool. So it depends on the package that you want, which is kind of why I was saying we could sit down and I could show you. So for Miss Betty, what I did is we showed her out over the car. Here, I'll show you how it works. We take her out over the car, we do the cameras that look just like this, and then you see the footage from the phone just like that. This is how it looks at my house. You can scroll back. They're a little different to the rings and blinks. You scroll through 24/7 recording, and you can speak right through it. And it's kind of like those old school intercoms, if you ever remember those. Which is real nice, because like if it is your wife home alone, because you said you work a lot, if there's someone outside, she doesn't have to come outside and then be like in a situation where she's come out the door and there's someone outside. I like it because my wife, she's busted up knee. She can speak right through the cameras to anyone who's outside, which is really cool. So the reason I was saying like pricing is a little different. Like if you guys want to do 5 cameras, it's a little different to doing 1 or 2, right? If we were to do this and we did pick you as an advertiser at home, do you think you get more use out of the doorbell camera or the outdoor camera?
Probably the outdoor.
Okay, yeah, a lot of the neighbors said that. What makes you say that?
Just to keep an eye on it. Yeah, make sure my wife is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like y'all are probably on the next door app, Ring app, like there's a lot of people floating through the neighborhood getting into the catalytic converters. Hopefully it hasn't happened to you guys, but really there's only 2 times to get security.
What is that?
The smart door lock, right?
Yeah, is that the so you don't need your keys?
Yeah, we have it at our house. I love it. It's great. I can lock, I'll show you my phone. I can lock and unlock the doors from my phone. And the neato thing is that whenever you arm it, or whenever you lock your doors, it arms your security. Whenever you unlock your doors, it disarms it, which is really nice. All works together, and then you can do different codes to different people. Hey, y'all looked at doing the smart door lock before?
Yeah, I was just about to go buy one.
Oh, well, rock and roll. Perfect timing on my behalf, huh? What's you in between porta potties?
So how much is it?
Yeah, so ADT trains me to do a custom system for you guys. I can show you how it works in your home. It's just pretty stinking hot out here. I realized I was really rude, by the way. I'm Nate. What's your name?
Zach.
Okay, cool. Let me show you how this works, Zach, and I'll take a seat right there and I can piece it together for you. Lots of seats.
Yeah, seats. I mean, tons of peas. I'd say what's really great about what Nate does when he pitches, it's just a conversation. It's not someone opening the door and it's just like automatically spewing information. He's asking questions and name dropping and crime dropping and making sure he's breaking up the sale. So like after he attacks with something talking about the cameras, we'll try and break it up with another question, maybe bring in the neighbors, say, oh, have you been looking into the cameras too? And that way it just makes it flow a little bit more. I'd say the only like C that I caught was, and we'd all be like this, where he tried to get inside the home and Zach was like, no, just show me right here, like how much is it? And he's like kind of wavered just a little bit, but it doesn't matter. He just transitioned right into talking about the cameras and then moving the sale around the home, even though he couldn't get inside. And then not afraid to try and go back for it again. I feel like if someone tells us no the first time, a lot of the rookies, they'll be like, they don't want to ask again. They'll just leave the phone number or try and come back at another time. Like, keep trying to get into the house. If they're not going to let you in, it's not going to be a sale anyways. So might as well get your note right then, and then 2 hours later and they don't even answer the door and you just wasted your time. So, also that was really good was obviously just like building in value and building the scenarios, not just talking about the benefits of it, but kind of like painting a picture, right? So that way the wife doesn't have to come out and deal with the situation the driveway. That's going to go a lot farther than just saying like, oh, now you don't have to come outside. It's like now your wife won't have to come outside and deal with what's going on when you're in between porta potties. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, that next pitch was super engaging all the way through. Just what Sebastian said too. Asked a lot of good questions, and then just the persistence of it. You know, there's so many times where they have that wall, and you don't know when it comes down. But if you'll just play that game of I'm gonna see how much I can keep going. Eventually, bang, their guard will drop, and you'll get a sale. So,
No, I was trying to be a customer that doesn't give you anything, but I know like when you're a rookie, like if you're just pitching that you're like not giving you anything, dude, just pull back for a second, talk about something other than whatever it can be, and then start showing them random things, and they'll eventually tell you something.
oh crap.
Yeah, eventually they'll tell you something.
Yep. Well, guys, I wanted to keep the meeting pretty short today because I don't know. Like, for myself, like I want to knock more right now than all like in the summer. Like I want to get out there because all of our numbers that we have, most of us like are a little bit behind track, and now is the time where we have to put the gas on even more too. So have urgency. You're not going to have this opportunity for much longer where you have literal 7 techs waiting for you to get your job installed right now. Like when you guys go back home in the off season, it's gonna be like, oh, like we'll be there in 2-3 days. Like take advantage of it now and push that volume in, and you're gonna reap the benefits of it for sure. Couple announcements. So just talking to the techs, they aren't really getting home until like 11 o'clock midnight, especially how we sell. We're jamming in jobs super late, and then so by the time they get home, they do their inventory at 1 a.m. Spencer asked if we could push the start times to 12 for installs and services. And I think it would make sense. A lot of times what happens is, oh yeah, schedule at 10 a.m. You schedule at 10 a.m. They drive out, they finish their job at 11, and now they're waiting till 4 or 5 when we get same days. So they're sitting in an area for like hours at a time. You know what I mean? So we talked to them. Now obviously if the schedule gets packed up a ton, and like we have a bunch of like jobs going and we need that morning time, we can block them out. But let's just try and do our best to schedule them starting around 12 o'clock. And I'll give our techs a little bit more time too, so they can breathe, and then they can be a little bit happier too and have a life. So yeah, just one announcement there. And then real quick, I just wanted to talk about a couple techniques that you can do to try and disarm your customer, relieve pressure, and asking some good questions. So there's a couple techniques that I've seen right off of the doorstep. First one's just going to be your body language. Don't be super jumpy right when they answer the door, because it comes off as salesy. So something that I'll do, literally if I hear them open the door, I have a bottle of water in my hand, I'll literally take a drink of water while they're opening the door. Because it just shows that I'm like super comfortable. Brady, what he does, he plays with his hat. He plays with his hat on his door, like this. Because like when you look out the window and you're looking at that guy, I just look so like unassuming, right? When I do something like that. Another one I like to do, I'll play with my watch, or I'll just be on my iPad. I'm trying to look as like non-threatening as possible to that person when they come out. Or another thing you can do too is you can kind of be like looking around the house. Do you guys know who Taylor McCarthy is? You ever heard of him? Mm-hmm. They're over 400 alarm systems. What he'll do is he goes, sorry I'm late. You guys, you were the homeowner here, right? Mm-hmm. So just by saying that, I'm creating so much curiosity, like, what does this guy want too? So even kind of like looking around on the house a little bit, using the water bottle and your body language, being relaxed, it can help relieve that tension right out of the way of like, what do you want or why are you here? Because just by them looking at me and looking at my body language, it makes more curiosity right off the doorstep. So those are a couple of the ones I like to do. And you can almost play with them. I find I like using different techniques during the day because it just keeps it more fun for me. Like I can try this technique, I can try this technique. I'll try the handshake technique. Like you guys heard of Josh Sutherland? Like super hey, how's it going? You're the homeowner here, right? Like going right for the handshake. That can do the same thing. That can disarm them, but in a different way, right? You can almost match your personality types to them. So make it fun. Yeah.
People come to, hey, what's up? Bang.
And it makes it not monotonous to yourself, and it makes the job more fun because then you're almost playing that game in the head. How do I get a little bit better? Well, let's see if this works with this person and this works with this person. It's not like a robot pitch. Try a couple different techniques when you're out there, and then you're gonna start to see what works for you. So those are a couple of the ones that I like to use right out the door. Any other disarming things people like to do? Body language,
Just
anything like that?
I'm just relaxed. I'll be like whistling, singing a song or something, just hanging back.
And if they go to open the door, I'll literally I'll see them, I'll wave, and I'll get back on my iPad. I'm not gonna start pitching them until they open the door. Don't start pitching them right when you see them. Get back on your iPad or drink your water and wait for them to finally come out too. That's one that I found that works pretty good.
Sometimes if they have chairs outside, I'll just sit down on the chairs and let them come to the door. And you think they freak out what are you doing to a chair, but they'll normally they'll come out and they'll sit by you oh hey, what's going on? Especially a big guy like me, when I seem small and I'm just sitting down, it's a lot more approachable. And so my knee's bummed up, so I'll just use it as an excuse. I was like, oh hey there, 1 second. And I'll kind of huddle out hey, nice to meet you. And I'm like, oh no, sit down. I'm like, oh thank you.
Yeah.
I'm sitting down.
But just by starting that tone, you just set the tone of the conversation to be very non-threatening, and it's going to take down that wall a little bit right off the beginning to get them to listen to you. So those are just a couple little arrows. Add a couple arrows to your quiver every single day, and let's just get a little bit better. But I want to get out there and knock. So
do you want to
anything else?
Do you want to do a real quick look at the bracket?
That's fine. Yeah.
Nice. Hey, also, so Dan posted up in the meeting, in the group meeting about that IP address stuff. So that basically means if you log into someone else's account, you're not harmed. So, they'll know if you cheat, don't cheat. Long story short, just go sell your own deals, go sell.
I don't know if you guys know this, they can ghost into our co-pilots.
Yeah.
They can go in, they can see if you try to qualify any customers, they can see your pay, they can see your whole co-pilot. So just don't do anything sketchy. Business-wise too, guys, the person on the DocuSign needs to be the one that signs the DocuSign, and they need to be the one that does the welcome call, okay? Do not do sketchy business, okay? We're not gonna be able to bail you out. You're gonna feel like a real a-hole if you get called out by one of the bosses. So, oh yeah, he'll be cool with it. No. On the phone. Send them the email. Have them do the DocuSign. They need to be aware of everything that's going on. Don't worry about that customer, bro. Go sell somebody else. You know a bad bill, right? Because that would suck if Nate used my name, he never paid the bill, and then it goes on me.
Yeah, and then that gets into questions. I mean, I had one that was seemingly innocent, and it came around to get me last summer, and it was the husband, and I was like, oh, they're married, no problems, they're, whatever. And then they ended up breaking up, and then it was in her name, and it was messy. So even goes to show, just make sure, even if they're married, even if they're whatever, just go through and make sure.
If they're married legally, you're allowed to do it. On the welcome call, I'll be like, okay, what is your relation to XYZ person?
Just save yourself some trouble and make sure everyone knows what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
So this bracket's heating up. So
Matt,
that was actually my question. If you could use the spouse, because I heard in the welcome call, am I speaking with them or the spouse? So I just want to make sure the all incidents.
Yeah.
So this round's the ice pod, and the bracket ends end of Tuesday. So Lamont was away Friday, Saturday, but I don't think Spencer threw it down much. So you got a chance to get in there.
Yes, sir.
And then Brady and Kyle is heat. So Brady's already on 2 for the day. Kyle's already qualified 4 people, so this is going to be crazy. Kyle's got a lead, so we should all be like blowing up
He's
Kyle
got
when he
like
gets a
3 or
sale.
4 in, yeah.
So when Kyle gets a sale, let's blow him up today and like, you know, just get him hyped up and like, I'm sure he's pretty like tired, so like let's just encourage him and like get him out there.
He is
On we went and knocked Sunday too.
Yeah, he got
I was
3
going to the gas station getting Red Bulls, driving into his neighborhood and like gassing him up with the Red Bulls and like driving out. Like a pit stop.
Let's get these out of the
That
pile.
was funny.
Seb and Ron is going crazy out here.
This is nuts.
So I don't think that's the updated score.
not.
Okay.
It's not.
What's the actual score difference?
It's not close.
Okay, Ron's laying it down.
Yeah.
Alright, Seb's gonna have to turn up here.
Yeah.
So it might be Ron and Wendy's throwing it down, so.
Ooh.
My guy's
Belize Rero.
My guy's taking a break or something. And then
That shouldn't
Mike,
have made that bastard wasted it.
he's just intimidated. Same thing's gonna happen today, to go against me, so nothing.
Dude.
And then as your guy Tyler